All right, let's dive into a question that sounds pretty simple on the surface, but is actually incredibly complex. How do you grade a thinking machine? See, we're moving way beyond chatbots that just, talk. We're talking about AI agents that can actually do things. They can reason, use tools, and take actions out in the real world. And figuring out if they're any good at it, well, that's one of the biggest challenges in AI right now.
So what's the big deal? Why is grading an AI agent so fundamentally different? Well, as we're about to see, it's because we are dealing with a completely new kind of problem.
And this right here, this slide just nails the difference. Look on the left. Evaluating a chatbot is pretty straightforward. You check one single piece of text. But on the right, you have an agent, and that is a whole different ballgame. You have to grade an entire sequence of steps, its internal thoughts, the tools it decides to use, how it reacts when things change. Get one little thing wrong at the beginning, and the entire task can just fall apart.
Which, brings us right back to the central question of this whole explainer. When a machine can actually act, how in the world do you build a report card for it? The answer, it turns out, isn't just a single score. It's a whole framework. To build that report card, researchers and developers are really focusing in on what they're calling the 4 pillars of performance. Think of these as the core dimensions we have to measure to get a real picture of how well an agent is actually performing.
First up is intelligence and reasoning. This is the most obvious one, right? Did the agent actually succeed? But it goes way deeper than that. We're not just looking at whether it fulfilled the goal, but we're also looking at its reasoning path and the precision of its tool selection. In other words, how did it get there? Was its logic solid, or did it just kind of get lucky? Because, let's be honest, getting the right answer for the wrong reasons is a massive red flag.
Okay, next up is pillar number 2, reliability. And this one's simple. Can you trust this thing? I mean, a brilliant agent that only works 1 time out of 10 is, well, it's pretty much useless. So we measure its consistency, for sure. But, and this is crucial, we also measure its error recovery. What happens when a website is down or a tool throws an error? A truly reliable agent can spot the problem, figure out a new plan, and get itself back on track.
Pillar 3 is all about the practical stuff, efficiency and cost. And this is huge for agents because they don't just give one answer, they operate in these loops of thinking and acting. An agent that gets stuck in one of those loops can rack up an insane bill in just a few seconds. So you have to ask, how long did it take? How many tokens did it burn through? And what was the final cost for one successful outcome? And finally, we have what might just be the most critical pillar of all, governance and safety. Look, a powerful agent that operates without any rules is just a massive liability waiting to happen. So here, we measure things like guardrail breaches. Did it ever try to do something it was explicitly told not to? We check for hallucinations and whether it stuck to its assigned job. Because at the end of the day, capability without safety is a total non-starter.
Okay, so knowing what to measure is one thing, but how do we actually test it? This is where a whole new generation of really specialized benchmarks is starting to come into play.
Yeah, you can forget about those old-school AI tests that just check for random facts. These new benchmarks you see here are all about action. So for example, GAIA tests general assistant tasks, like planning a complicated trip. SWE-bench gives an agent a real bug from a GitHub repository and tells it to write the fix. The test is simple. Does the new code pass or fail? And then you have WebArena, which tests an agent's ability to navigate and use messy, complicated websites, just like a person would. Each one is designed to push a different but vital skill.
And this number just perfectly illustrates the mountain we still have to climb. 10 to 40%. That's it. That's the current success rate for even the most advanced, state-of-the-art agents on a realistic test like WebArena. It's just a powerful reminder of how incredibly difficult these real-world, dynamic tasks still are. We have a long way to go. So as we're seeing, a simple pass-fail score just isn't going to cut it. To really understand how an agent is performing, especially if you want to get it ready for the real world, you have to look so much deeper. This slide really highlights the central tension in all of agent evaluation, looking at the final outcome versus understanding the process. The outcome is simple, right? Did the agent book the flight? Yes or no? But the process, that's where the real insight is. How did it book that flight? Did it follow a clean, logical path like you see on the right, or did it just stumble around in a chaotic mess and eventually get lucky? A process failure, even if it leads to a successful outcome, tells you that agent probably isn't reliable in the long run. So how do developers actually put all this together for an agent that's ready for production? They use this kind of 3-layer strategy.
First, they use an LLM as a judge, which is basically another powerful AI to automatically grade thousands of test runs at scale. Second, for anything really high stakes like financial transactions or medical advice, there is always a human in the loop to give that final okay. And third, they run hundreds of super specific scenario tests to make absolutely sure that a new update doesn't accidentally break something that was already working just fine.
Okay, so after going through all of that, the pillars, the benchmarks, the strategies, it all really comes down to one core concept for any team that's building an AI agent.
This expert quote right here just captures the core challenge perfectly. A high success rate is basically meaningless on its own. If that success costs a fortune or takes forever to achieve, from a user's perspective, it's a practical failure. This really highlights that constant trade-off that every single developer has to manage.
And that leads us to the final key insight of all this. You can't just try to maximize one of these things. The goal isn't a perfect success rate if it costs $100 a pop. The real goal, the true art and science here, is finding the optimal balance between success, cost, and speed for the person who's actually going to use it. That balancing act is everything. Which leaves us with a final and pretty crucial question. As these agents start to book our flights, manage our calendars, and even write our code, we know there's always going to be this balance between their intelligence, their cost, and their speed. But looking back at all the pillars we've discussed today, from reliability all the way to safety, what's the one metric we absolutely, positively cannot afford to get wrong?